I'm J.R. Church. Welcome to today's analysis of the news. As we sit here doing this analysis on the day's news, I want you to know that 3 hours ago the sun set in Jerusalem, the beginning of Rosh Hashanah. This is Monday evening, the eve of Rosh Hashanah. By morning, we'll be in the morning, full-fledged into this Feast of Trumpets. And I've asked Gary Stearman to help me here and give you sort of an analysis on what we think about the days in which we now live.
Oh, yes, the days in which we now live. J.R., this is a sabbatical cycle of probably unusual importance. For reasons that we don't have time to go into right now, we are beginning a count of 10 days called the Days of Awe. Starting on the 30th of September and leading right up to the 9th of October, which is Yom Kippur. Jews at this time of year, J.R., turn to self-examination. They say, we are in the process of being judged. And on Yom Kippur, which is going to be on October 9th, this sabbatical cycle will be kicked off, shall we say, with a vengeance. Because Jews look at that day, J.R., as a time of reckoning. Extreme seriousness. Some of them approach it with fasting and prayer and weeping because they realize that their lives will be judged. Israel is in a state of self-examination right now. And I guess that's the point I'd like to get across. We're going into 7 years that could be critical, crucial years.
Yes. Now, we've been in Rosh Hashanah now for 3 hours. We have not heard a heavenly trumpet. We have not heard a shout. We're still here. If we're here tomorrow, we'll do another update on the news. And if we're not here, maybe we've been raptured. I don't know. But I can tell you this. Whether we are here or there or in the air, we will continue to proclaim Jesus is coming soon. The things that are happening right now, for example, with our Congress, debating the bill to bail out our economy, is happening right now on Rosh Hashanah.
Why? It's been said many times, with the Lord there are no coincidences. Why on this day did this economic crisis loom to full proportion? Is it historically significant? I think so.
So here we've got Rosh Hashanah, runs for 2 days, by the way, Tuesday and Wednesday. And I just want to mention to you that according to Jewish tradition, Jewish virgins are married on Tuesday nights. Or that is, they're whisked away by their grooms on Tuesday nights. Because all Jewish weddings are on Wednesday, and remember, their day begins with sundown the previous night. So Wednesday begins Tuesday evening at sundown. So who knows? Maybe tomorrow at this time, the bride will have been snatched away by the groom. But it is kind of interesting that this particular Rosh Hashanah occurs on Tuesday and Wednesday.
Wow. More than that, world events, and we don't have time, J.R. We could talk for 3 hours. Look at Russia, look at Syria, look at Israel, look at all the drama on the world stage, and then compare that with the days of the new sabbatical cycle.
If it is not the 70th week of Daniel, let me tell you that it is at least a shadow of the 70th week. It is a prophecy of the future 70th week. The rabbis 700 years ago, as I said, mentioned this. In Ezekiel chapter 40, when Ezekiel sees the Lord coming back in power and great glory, he opens chapter 40 on the 10th day at the beginning of the year. That's Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement. So according to Ezekiel, when he sees the Lord come and his feet sets down on the Mount of Olives, and his countenance is as the shining sun, and his voice is the sound of many waters. That's on Yom Kippur, the 10th day of Tishri. Backing up 7 years, we've got the tribulation period has to begin. Because at the end of the 70 years, or 7 years, in Revelation chapter 19, the Lord comes back. And the book of Revelation tells us about this 7-year cycle, the 70th week of Daniel. So it's entirely possible that sometime in the next 10 days, all this could get kicked off. We don't know for sure, can't not tell you. We're not trying to set a date, but it is important to understand that this cycle that is begun today could be prophetically significant. The rabbis 700 years ago nailed it down. They said, this is Jacob's trouble. Last word, Gary?
Last word, this sabbatical cycle, if you've been watching Prophecy in the News, you know, also ends with a series of total solar and lunar eclipses, 2014, 2015, that are timed to match the Jewish holidays. This is a very rare event. So, JR, we're looking at the beginning of a sabbatical cycle with significant events, and we already know that at the end we have these solar and lunar events. I think we're looking at an important time period.
Wish we could tell you. We're still here. We haven't come to the place of rapture yet, but who knows? One of these days, dear friend, we'll hear that heavenly trumpet and that shout from heaven in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, and we'll be gone. Tune in again tomorrow, if we're still here, for our analysis on the news.